Nope, I'm gonna wait till the market cools off, until the prices start to drop more. Tell me you have not thought about this if you've been following the real estate market for the last 12 months. And that's understandable. The real estate market in San Diego has been red hot for years. But just within the last few months, we've seen some shocking changes. We've seen skyrocketing interest rates, less affordability, and major price reductions. We've seen more change and disruption in the last few months than we've seen since the 2008 market crash. So, should you wait to buy a home? Will the market correct itself in the next 6 to 12 months, giving you as a buyer a stronger position? So I'm gonna give you guys 4 reasons why I believe you guys should still consider buying real estate in the next 12 months. If you wanna stay current on real estate market updates in the future, please click on the link below, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you guys, now let's get into it. Now, before we dive right into the pros and cons, I'm gonna share just briefly a little bit of what I have experienced personally being in the real estate field every day. So obviously the most noticeable thing is the interest rates. It's crazy to even think that just last year rates were at 3.5%. They've nearly doubled. Right now we're at about 6.5, 7%. And when we have low interest rates, which we did last year, we're obviously gonna have a much higher demand for real estate purchases, which is why last year, 2021, in the first quarter of this year, 2022, we saw crazy appreciation. We saw buyers paying thousands and thousands of dollars over value, and we just saw sellers dominating the field. It was highly and definitely a seller's market. But something changed in the second quarter of 2022. As a result of the aftermath of COVID, and to curb our current inflation, the Feds decided to increase interest rates right around May, June of 2022. As a result of this, interest rates have nearly doubled. The change was drastic to the real estate market. I felt it. It was like night and day. I was selling homes within 7 days before, and now average time is about 3 to 4 weeks. What we're seeing before us is a shifting market, one that we haven't seen in the last 10 years. We were in an extreme seller's market, and now we are shifting to a neutral, almost buyer's market. We're seeing more price reductions than we've ever seen in 10 years. So, does this mean the real estate market is gonna crash? In my professional opinion, no. Is this a market correction? Absolutely yes. So what does this all mean? Well, it means that prices are going to continue to decline slowly until we see one of 2 things: either less inventory again, like we did last year, or 2, the Feds decrease the rates to healthier levels, maybe around 4.5%. So should you buy now, or should you wait a few months, maybe 6, 12 months until prices drop even further? The answer is, well, there's really no right answer. There's no right answer for everybody because everybody is in a very different, unique situation. But what I will do is I will give you some very important facts about our current real estate market and let you as the audience decide whether this is good for you, if it's a good fit for you. So let's dive right in. We're gonna start with pro number 1. Number 1 is less upfront costs and less cash to buy real estate. So as we shift to a neutral market, we're no longer seeing buyers paying thousands of dollars over appraised value. Buyers are no longer having to remove their appraisal contingency, both which are exceedingly high risk of overpaying for a property. Pro number 2, we are seeing way less competition. Inventory has literally quadrupled in the last 5 months, which means as a buyer now, you can be picky. You can get the home that you want, the house of your dreams. Whereas 5, 6 months ago, you'd be lucky to get your offer accepted. Now for pro number 3. Pro number 3 is that you as a buyer are now in a much stronger negotiating position. So 6 months ago, it was nearly impossible to get any type of seller credits, get them to pay for your closing costs, or to even negotiate repairs. So in our current market now, not only is it easy to negotiate these items with sellers, but sellers are more than willing to give you these things, saving you as a buyer thousands of dollars. So an incredible tactic that I've been using recently with the majority of my buyers is getting them into a 2-1 buy down loan. And so essentially what that does is it reduces the interest rate by 2%. So right now rates are at about a little over 7%. So essentially they would get a 5% interest rate for the first year that would increase to 6% the second year and then go back to the 7% on the third year, in hopes that in 2-3 years rates should be back down again and they can refinance. Now, sounds too good to be true, right? So yes and no. Yes, because it comes at a cost, and it's a high cost. The cost is typically about 2% of the purchase price. So for example, an $800,000 house, this 2-1 buy down loan program is gonna cost $16,000. Now, of course, it doesn't make any sense if the buyer's having to pay for that. But if you have an incredible real estate agent that's fighting for you, typically about 80% of the time, I can negotiate the sellers to cover this cost. So with that said, it becomes free for you as a buyer. You take advantage of this incredible interest rate, an affordable mortgage payment that now you can afford, and you can refinance in 1 to 2 years from now. So this is an incredible way that my buyers are taking advantage right now of getting a reduced rate and taking advantage of all these price reductions at the same time. The last pro I'll share with you is that it is an amazing market for first-time home buyers. Those using FHA loans, government assistance, city grants, low-income earners, this is your market to shine. You now have a fighting chance to get your offer accepted. Whereas 6 months ago, you didn't have a fighting chance. Most sellers would just overlook your offer. So what we're seeing overall is just a ton more of flexibility for buyers in this market. So in conclusion, and just to wrap all this up for you guys, historically guys, it's still a good time to buy. It's a wonderful time to take advantage of these major price reductions. We've seen over 15 to 20% price reductions in the majority of cities in San Diego. This is your time to shine, guys. Where the market may have been cruel to first-time home buyers, buyers with minimal cash and down payment, this market welcomes you. Take advantage because there are a lot of motivated sellers. Properties are still sitting on the market longer than usual. So get in there. This is your wake-up call, guys. Take advantage. So general rule of thumb I share with the majority of my buyers is that real estate is really meant to be held long-term. You see, real estate appreciates exceedingly well long-term, generally at a rate that far outpaces annual inflation. It's safe, it's a tangible asset, and it's a proven strategy to build generational wealth for you and for your family. So if you're still on the fence about buying real estate this year, or maybe you just have a few questions, give me a call today. Let's jump on a call. Let's strategize. Let my team and I help you position yourself to win this year or next year. Well, thanks for tuning in, guys. I hope you learned something new. And most importantly, if you can think of a friend or a family member right now who might be considering buying or selling in the next 12 months, please share this video, send them my contact information. I'd love to help. Always appreciate new referrals. Thank you guys again. God bless you. Have a beautiful day.